So this document will be posted to Google Classroom, so you can go out and read it on your own and take notes. What I'm going to be doing here is I'll be reading through it, kind of highlighting the important parts. If you need that additional help to focus on things, or you could use the translate feature in YouTube to be able to understand this in your language. So I'm just going to go through, read it, and highlight and comment on it. All atoms consist of protons, neutrons, and electrons. Protons and neutrons are clumped together to form a nucleus in the center of the atom. The electrons are very mobile, and they can be located anywhere from the center of the atom to the outer edges of the atom. The electrons can't be in the nucleus, however. Two of these atomic particles have electrical charges, and this is important. Protons have that positive charge, and electrons have that negative charge. An atom has equal numbers of positively charged protons and negatively charged electrons. That's also really important. So we know an atom with the same amount of protons and electrons will be neutral. This makes the charge on the atom 0. The atom is said to be neutral. While protons are only found in the nucleus, electrons move around so much that they may be thought of as an electron cloud that surrounds the nucleus. Different electrons in the electron cloud have different amounts of energy. A model of electron structure would look like a clouds within clouds, so like shells of clouds around each other. Each cloud represents the location of electrons that have a certain energy. The energy levels are numbered 1 to 7. So we talked about there being 7 energy levels, 7 periods in our periodic table. So the energy levels are numbered 1 to 7, with level 1 being the closest to the nucleus and having the lowest energy, and level 7 being the farthest from the nucleus and having the highest energy. So I'm just going to highlight that whole part actually, because that's all important. Each energy level can contain more than one electron. However, the maximum number of electrons in each level is not the same, but it increases as the energy level number increases. So energy level 1, and I'll highlight these. Energy level 1 can contain a max of 2 electrons. Energy level 2 can have 8 electrons. Energy level 3 can have 18 electrons. And energy level 4 can have 32 electrons. So you can imagine how rings, and here's a good diagram you could use this to imagine, how rings around the nucleus, as you get farther and farther out, they get larger and larger. And you have more and more space to fit more and more electrons. So I could even write here, in energy level 1, we said we can only have 2 electrons before it was full. In energy level 2, we said we could have up to 8 electrons. And in energy level 3, we said we could have up to 18 electrons. And we said in energy level 4, we could have up to 32 electrons. And if you look closely, we're following a pattern here. And then we can imagine energy level 5, energy level 6, energy level 7 can hold more and more electrons. These are the maximum number of electrons in each energy level. For the levels 5, 6, and 7, the energy levels and orbital size increase along with the number of possible electrons that could fill these energy levels. Figure 2 is a visual representation of the electrons and their energy levels. So we're going to highlight this part. the electrons do pair up as they fill the energy levels, but they do not orbit in a ring. So it's important to know that the electrons aren't just spinning around. They are moving around kind of wildly and randomly, and they just happen to be largely found in that ring. So they're not rotating, they're not doing that. They're kind of moving all around, but just staying in that general area. So they move, and I guess that says it right here, they move all over the area of the specific electron cloud or energy level. So you can just highlight that. All right, so I hope this helps you take notes on this. There's a couple more things I wanted to add in here. So we know that electrons are lazy, right? Everything in nature is lazy. So electrons are lazy as well. And they fill in our lower energy levels first. Electrons are lazy and fill lower energy levels first. So you're not just going to have an electron hanging out here in energy level 4 if you only have one. If you have one electron, like in a hydrogen, it'll be staying in energy level 1. And if you have two, they'll both be in energy level 1. And then if you have 3 electrons, you'll fill energy level 1. And then that, because it's filled with 2, you'll have 1 extra electron, and that'll go into energy level 2. So just remember, electrons are lazy. They fill in those lower energy levels first.